What up, YouTube? This is going to be really short, and I know I always say that, but I mean it this time because I'm getting live unloaded, and I think they may be almost done. The rumbling around has stopped. This is my my first stop of 3. I'm exhausted. Thank God the sun is kind of in my face, so y'all can't see how red my eyes are. I just came off of a 40-something hour reset. Because of the way this 3-day trip, I'm on the 1,300-mile trip to Illinois. Right now, I started off in Laredo this morning. Right now, I am in Grand Prairie, Texas. If you're not familiar with all of these weird cities in Texas, I'm very close to the Lancaster, Dallas area. I'm tired. When I'm resetting, I don't typically sleep during the day. I sleep at night like a normal person would sleep, because my schedule changes all the time, and that's what I want to talk to y'all about. So that and the shenanigans that was getting into this fucking place. I'll get to that in a minute. So I get a lot of questions about why my schedule changes, how do I deal with sleeping and having energy at opposite times on opposite days. There is absolutely no way for you to know what you're going to be driving. When they send your dispatch through, before they dispatch you, when they send you a load, you get to choose, yes, you accept, no, you're going to reject it, or you can counter it, meaning that you can say, okay, well, I can make it if they can, move this an hour, back an hour, whatever. You can always try to counter. It doesn't always happen, but I mean, you could try. I don't use it myself personally. Either it works or it doesn't work, and I choose yes or no. But that's another video. So whenever they send you that load and you're trying to see if you have the time to make it, the very first thing you should look at is where you're going, how many miles it is, and what time you have to be there. That starts out your trip plan. So you need those bits of information to figure out what's your clock look like right now. Not just your clock that you're sitting on today, but this load right here, I had to reset because I only had 21 hours left on my 70-hour clock for the week. I would have run out of hours before it was time to get there. So that's the kind of stuff you have to look at. You always, always, always have to know what you're working with as far as your clocks. All your clocks. Then you have to see how many hours is it going to take for you to get there. If you look it up on a GPS and say, from point A to point B, that's 1,342 miles. Well, I personally like to drive 600 miles a day if I have the miles. Okay, when you're going from one part of the country to the other, you can't really think like that. You have to break it up evenly over the days. And I have strict, delivery and drop-off times. So I can't be early and I can't be late. So that's even better for me, because then I take those 1,394 miles and I split them up over the 3 days. So I'm not wearing myself out. I have some wiggle room. If I'm not tired one day, I'll just push it out and get there early and just wait around. But I don't like to wait around. So when you get big, big loads, you really want to try to space it out so you're working evenly. And this is where your sleep comes in. So I was on a big reset from Friday to last night, Sunday night. So I sleep at nighttime when I'm not driving. I did take a 5-hour nap yesterday right before it was time for me to get up. I woke up 2 hours early so I could shave and shower and do all that fun stuff and eat before I hit the road. I left the terminal in Laredo at 10 o'clock. I got here at 6:15. I was tired. My eyes were burning. I have a Red Bull out the yin yang over here. And, I made it. I won't drive unsafe. For all you naysayers, oh my God, girl, you're driving sleepy. You let me know what truck driver hasn't driven sleepy. I wasn't passing out, okay? I was tired. So how do you deal with that? Obviously, I just said I drink Red Bull. I prefer Bang, but when I'm really tired to where my eyes are burning, I need Red Bull. And fuck the sugar-free stuff. Give it to me. Give me all of it. And that helped me. I took 1 5-hour energy and a Red Bull, and I was good to go. I made it here. While I would love to climb back there and go to sleep, they're unloading the trailer. So, for the most part, for the rest of this trip, I will sleep during the day, which is great because parking's not going to be an issue at the truck stop. But, well, I'm so close here, I'm going to the Lancaster terminal. I will park and go to fucking sleep. I'm tired. And I will sleep damn near the whole 10 hours that I'm off. And that's fine, because I need that 10 hours to reset my body and let it know, hey, we're going to be driving at night for right now. Now, here's what's going to happen. It happens to me every week. At Wednesday at 10:01 in the morning, that's when my PTA says that I'm ready for a new load. So when I get to my place in Illinois, while they're unloading, I'm going to get sent my next trip. 99.8% sure that trip is going to be picked up. I usually pick up like right after they're done with me. I usually have 3 or 4 hours left on my clock. Sorry, y'all, the sun is crazy, which is a good thing, but it's right in my face. So what happens is I usually pick up the load right after they're done, and it like runs my clock out, and then I start driving. So what happens is I've been on nights for a few days, and I take NyQuil sleep aid to force myself to go to sleep because I'm not sleepy at 8 o'clock in the morning. My body is like, hey, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, you should be awake. So I do have to force myself to go to sleep. Throughout my whole life, I've always struggled with insomnia anyways, so the NyQuil sleep aid works fine. That's great. I go to sleep, I wake up, I'm refreshed. The first day is always a little tricky. Now, having the sleep aid helps me. I don't know if it's going to help you, but I would highly suggest, if you're not a person that can lay down on the pillow and go to sleep, I honestly don't even know one person that can do that. But if you cannot lay on that pillow and tell your body, hey, we need to sleep right now, and you're coming into this industry, you may want to get a sleeping aid of some sort. Because your schedule, I had a friend who was in trucking with me, and that was one of the things that he struggled with the most. He has sleep apnea. He uses his CPAP machine, so he can't use a lot of sleep aids and stuff like that because it fucks up your breathing and your sleep, and it's just a whole medical situation. So he's used to going to bed at a certain time and waking up at a certain time. You don't have no set schedule out here. Even my mentor that was dedicated, my second mentor, please believe, this kid drove days, he drove nights, like, it's crazy. You're not going to have a set schedule out here. There's going to be times when your schedule flips within a 24-hour period, and it's hard. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not, and it's something, because you're not doing it repetitively over a 30-day consecutive period, it's not a habit that your body is going to form. It's something that you are never going to get used to, unless you're just special. In that case, you're that 1%, and that's fine. Kudos to you. For the rest of the normal human race, your body likes repetition, and that's something you're not going to get out here. So find a way, whether you meditate, hypnosis, YouTube, whatever you do to go to sleep, I would say practice at home. Find something to do one night to keep you awake for 14 hours. And then on the next day, one night, stay up all night, sleep during the day. Next day, sleep at night, stay up during the, vice versa. I'm tired, so if my shit comes out weird, don't be making fun of me. This is just part of the job. When I got here, let me tell you how I got here, by the way. So the GPS, it gave me one address, right? So they dispatch you. What that means is they send you all the different stops that you're going to need, including your fuel stops, to get you from point A to point B. They send you that on the Qualcomm. That's how you know where to go. You can buy a trucker GPS. I fucking totally need one because this thing goes down. She just had an update, and they said that she wasn't supposed to go down as often, but pretty sure she's going to get me killed. Pretty positive she's going to get me killed one day. So, yeah, I will be purchasing my own GPS system. But, for now, this Qualcomm system tells you where you need to go. I knew as soon as I came through here, they're still doing construction on the highway to get in here. This is a very brand spanking new industrial park. It's so new, they don't even have any other trailers here other than the ones that they provide for themselves. It's not like one of those places where you see like different carrier, left all their trailers to rust over years. This place is brand new. So, she has the address to the old district, which happens to be across the street. And within this district, there are other streets with the actual address. So the GPS address, the address on my bill of lading, and the weird thing that she told me once I turned in here, all three different things. So thank God I got here early. I pulled up at GE. I was supposed to be at Zenith. The guy didn't even know where that street was. Luckily, I called my driver leader and was like, hey, what the fuck is going on here? Where is this refuge street, whatever? Luckily, Google Earth updates probably every 5 minutes. He was able to send me an aerial map to my phone. It showed where I was and actually showed the streets that don't show up on the GPS. Even on the GPS Google Earth thing that he took, the names of the streets aren't on there. That's how brand spanking new this place is. So, always have a backup plan. I have Trucker Path downloaded. I paid for it. I have it downloaded on my phone and on my iPad. That's what I use as a backup. I always keep my phone up here somewhere, and I always have it running as a backup plan because this Qualcomm goes down. Why our apps and stuff don't go down, I don't know. Swift, I know you'll be watching me. I just want to know, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. I feel like we should have a system in our truck that updates like Google does, or maybe that at least doesn't go down, because she goes down at the most fucked up times where like she gives you the exit and then like she goes offline and the exit goes left and right. And I mean, if you're directionally challenged, you are fucked, but you should always kind of know which direction you're headed, and that helps. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong, and then I just have to drive 30 miles to the next U-turn. So always have a backup plan. Now, today, even on my backup plan, I did so many circles around this place because the industrial park, the entrance to it is called the Wildlife Commerce Center. I'm delivering furniture. So, obviously, I did not think that turning into the Wildlife Center was where I needed to go. And I thought that this chick had lost her mind and she was more tired than I was. That wasn't the case. I don't know why they call it the Wildlife Center. There, I saw all the different buildings because, of course, the building that I needed to go to was way in the back on a dirt road. So I got to see all the different businesses that are in here. I didn't see one fucking thing that has to do with animals. And there's little wildlife W's on every single one of the buildings here, but it doesn't have shit to do with animals. So don't let the signs fool you. All dispatches have been deleted. All dispatches have been activated. Okay. They're updating so that I have fuel and all that other stuff. So that's the update, guys. Always make sure that you have a backup GPS. Even if it's just on your phone or whatever, this GPS system in the truck is going to go down. You're not going to get lucky and get a spiffy one that doesn't go down. It's just not going to happen. Unless you sign up 2 years from now, and hopefully our prayers and candles send some really good vibes to Swift and find new systems. Um, Probably not going to happen. So, Trucker Path, you pay $5 a month for it. Always have a backup plan. And the Trucker Path, just like the Qualcomm, only sends you on truck routes. So you're not going to turn on a road that you're not supposed to be on. Make sure you choose truck navigation. There's an option. So make sure you choose truck navigation if you use that. If you can afford to just throw down $700 on a Rand McNally, go for it. I hear it's got lots of bells and whistles. I personally don't think it needs to be that spiffy. All I need the thing to do is stay on and get me from point A to point B. She goes down a lot. If she only went down every little, every couple of, hours or something for a few seconds, I wouldn't have that much of a problem with it. But she goes down for like 20 and 30 minutes at a time, and you don't know where the fuck you're going. And she never goes down when you have 300 and something miles to go in a straight shot. She always goes down at the most inopportune times. So it's really frustrating. And as a driver, you don't need that kind of distraction where you're driving in the middle of nowhere, you don't know where you're going, and then she shuts up and you don't know what the fuck's going on. A lot of times as she goes down, I'm on a weird road in the mountains with no shoulders. It can get crazy, so always have a backup plan. My phone and my iPad, they don't lose connection like that. I'll lose connection on my phone more than I do on my iPad. I've never lost connection on my iPad, so yay, Sprint. Definitely have something to help you sleep. Don't come out here and think you're just going to put your head on the pillow and you're going to fall asleep. And your schedule, don't come out here thinking, that's the biggest point, don't come out here thinking that you're going to have a set schedule. It's not going to happen. I just checked my email. That's what prompted this video. 11 people. People have been asking for my email, so it's posted in some of the comments, and I'm getting a lot of emails, which is great. But a lot of people want to know, what if I only want to drive at night? What if I only want to drive during the day? What if I can't drive at night? If you have night blindness, don't come out here. There is no guarantee that you're not going to drive at night. There's about 1,000% guarantee that you are going to drive at night. I don't even think they'll give you your medical card if you have night blindness, to be honest with you. Do not come out here thinking or wanting to come out straight out of the academy and say, I want a dedicated route, I want to work only in the daytime, and I want to be home on the weekends. Can they do it? Yes, they can. You're probably going to be on a really long waiting list. The dedicated routes are filled, obviously. Everybody would like to work those hours and be home on the weekends. But a lot of the dedicated routes, you need to be a team driver. So if you don't have a team, you're going to wait even longer. But, for example, I signed up for 41 cents a mile and $3,000 sign-on bonus. Those perks are only for OTR drivers. So there's a few people that are like, oh, cool, 41 cents, $3,000. I want to be dedicated. They want the perks, but then they want to tailor their schedule to work for them. That's not going to cut it. The sign-on bonuses and all that stuff, is at least the ones that I have personally talked about, are only for OTR drivers. There's no exception to that. That is just the way it is. So I have answered some of y'all specifically. Yes, you can get regional. Yes, you can get dedicated if you're a solo driver straight out of the academy. That is your choice. Your pay is going to be smaller unless you get on a really good account. The pay, once you start going dedicated, varies between companies. So that's a whole different ballgame that I don't even know anything about, other than the Target stuff, because my second mentor was a dedicated Target driver. I can't speak on anything else because I don't know anything else. But as far as what I talk about, how much I make, and the stuff that I have gone through, I'm an OTR driver. Those perks are specific to OTR driving. So, you're going to drive during the day and you're going to drive at night. and you're never going to know which day you're going to drive what hours. It all is based on the loads and their set times. So definitely think about that. Find something that works for you. It took me like a week or two to figure out which sleeping aids were going to work. A whole bunch of stuff. I took Ambien in I call it the free world. When I wasn't tied to a company and I was just living my life, I took Ambien. I've been taking Ambien, and well, recently I was on Nesta. Ambien didn't work anymore. But out here, you can't get your medical card if you take any kind of sedatives or stuff like that to help you go to sleep. So I had to find an over-the-counter way to sleep, and that's what I use, the NyQuil. It works. I take 2 capsules. In 10 minutes, I'm asleep. I wake up in 8 hours, then fully refreshed, and I'm not groggy or anything like that. So find something that works for you. But definitely, the picture that I'm getting from the emails is, y'all want to come out here, which is great. I can't say enough good things about this decision that I've made. It works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, as my classmates have proven, and not only them, but other people that I have met out here. It's not for everybody. It's definitely not. It takes a special kind of person to deal with this kind of living situation alone. The job aside, the living situation is very, very hard to adapt to. It's a mindset. If you want to do this, you will do it. If you have hesitations coming out, those hesitations are only going to grow. Out here on the truck, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. So if there's a lot of shit you don't like about yourself, you're going to work it out in the truck, because all you have out here is time and yourself. So if there's hesitations before you get out here, that's all that's going to be on your mind. So you need to work out all the kinks as much as you can before you come out here, because the less distracted you are, the better experience you're going to have behind the wheel. That's just the way it goes. So these are some things to be looking out for. Try to prepare yourself for. And if you're thinking that, you've got this plan in your head, this is how you want to do it, make sure that you're aware of the requirements or the prerequisites that are needed for those types of schedules and positions. And just get with whoever your recruiter is. And I'm not going to advertise my recruiter's information and be all crazy like that. I'm not in this. My battery's going to die. I'm not in this to make money. I started doing this just to document my journey coming from the professional beauty industry into truck driving. I thought it would be fun to document. So if you want my recruiter's information, those of you who wanted it, I've sent it to you. He's great. I actually still talk to him on a weekly basis. So he's really good. And if you already have a recruiter, stick with that person. It's not easy to change anyways. But definitely ask some of these questions to them. And if you think that they're giving you bullshit or just telling you what you want to hear, ask me and I will let you know. On that note, they're finishing up. One of the guys is coming out. I get to go to the terminal and go to sleep, which I'm super excited about. So I will catch y'all next time. Until then, be safe out there. Peace.